making money is not really the goal, right? Because you realize once you make, even if you make as much money you make, it doesn't necessarily make your life any better necessarily.
Right.
But it's actually success in running a successful law firm is, I realized, working in the happy zone. As long as I'm doing that, I'm happy, I'm successful. If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing something wrong and I need to get myself back to that. So now my entire focus is trying to get myself in only in that zone.
We talk about delegating. So like you've discussed virtual assistants before, right? Tell me, like, how many do you have and how do they help you at your firm? Tell us a little bit about that.
So I've hired over 200 virtual assistants up to this point, and now I've about a team of 84 across multiple law firms. And the more and more I get into this, and I realize hiring virtual assistants is the most leverageable and highest ROI business decision you can make for your law firm. Once I had this epiphany again 3 or 4 years ago, where I basically analyzed for all these VAs that I had at the time, and I remember at the time I had about 8 or 9 VAs, and I wrote down exactly what's their name, how much did it cost me for them to have them for the entire year, and then also in my head I did an analysis of like what that value was for having that VA do the things that they did the entire year. And I realized, for this particular VA, I'm spending $6,000 and the value of that is $80,000. This VA, I spent $2,000 and I was able to maximize and make $100,000 off that VA's specialty. So once I saw that, I realized that, the ROI is 1,000x or 2,000x. So at that point, I made a promise to myself. I'm like, I'm going to treat VAs like they're free. And I'm just going to hire as many as I can. And just no matter what it is, because the ROI is so high, even if you make mistakes or the VAs are not necessarily that great, overall, in the big picture, grand scheme of things, everything will make sense. And now I try to find any excuse to hire as many VAs as I can. Just today, I was basically sending out 6 job proposals. Bring them on. As long as you're decent, come on in. I'll find you a position for you.
Wow, that's something else. So, and where do they go? Not your personal law firm. They're at other.
No, I have some law firms that are for me, and then there's some that I kind of work together to help them grow. So yeah, any of those positions, I basically figure out exactly what people are good at. Usually, it's a couple of things. One is they either like talking, so that means put them behind the phone, or they like writing. In that case, maybe they could manage your email inbox or write demand letters or whatever you want them to write.
Okay.
Or third, they're more creative or marketing. So you put them towards those very specialized marketing tasks. So let's just say, for example, for YouTube, I don't hire one YouTube person. I have one who makes just the thumbnails, one person who edits, one person who uploads and optimizes it. For every marketing task, I always make sure to have a specialized person. So instead of having one person who has 30, 40 hours, I try to have 3 people that have 5 to 10 hours and they could do very specialized tasks.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. So how can lawyers instantly get more control over what they're doing?
Yeah, one practical thing is just a couple of months ago, I did a really, really, really valuable training called How to Delegate 95% of the tasks you're currently working on by hiring virtual assistants. And every time I teach about virtual assistants, the one question I have is, well, I don't know what to give them. I don't have enough stuff to give them. Yeah. So I realized if that was the problem, I need to figure out for lawyers to be able to write down and clarify for themselves what are the tasks that they're currently working on. So the first half of this training, whether if you go on YouTube and just search how to hire virtual assistants to legal funnel, you'll find our video on this. The first half of the training is where you write down all the tasks that you're currently working on, and it's categorized into 4 different categories. There's one type, which is your drudgery zone, which is all the tasks that you are not necessarily good at and you don't enjoy doing. So what are those things?
The drudgery zone.
The drudgery zone. And then there's a disinterest zone, which is stuff that you know how to do, but you just don't necessarily like doing.
Okay.
And then there's stuff that you're not necessarily good at, but you do because you enjoy it. And then ultimately there's the last zone, which is the zone that you want to be. And this is where happiness resides, is doing the stuff that you're good at.
Okay.
That you also enjoy doing. So think about that. I'm going to ask you this question, Ben. Out of all the things that you do, what is your happy zone?
My happy zone? I do like working with people, with my staff. I do like doing that. That's sort of like it, that gives me energy, like being with people.
So imagine you do that only, and you do it on a higher level where you even have more people involved and you have structure behind these teams and things that you do, and you walk in, you manage, you talk, and you step out and you let everything else be handled by everyone.
So like somebody's there doing like my emails, somebody's answering the phones.
Yes.
But in a very specific way. Like it's not one person doing the emails and phones. It's one person for each of those tasks.
Yes.
Wow.
Or multiple doing those tasks.
So you're really breaking down like the elements of like everything you do and then dishing them out to everybody.
Correct. Dishing them out or using, there's also a lot of tools that will get these things off your hands.
So wait, what was the number 4? What was it called? Like the happy zone, the happy place?
I forgot the name of it. I have to pull it out. But essentially it's the happy zone. That's where the success zone is. You know,
The happy zone.
Most lawyers, it doesn't matter. The making money is not really the goal, right? Because you realize once you make, you know, even if you make as much money you make, you know, it doesn't necessarily make your life any better necessarily.
Right.
But it's actually success in running a successful law firm is working in the happy zone. As long as I'm doing that, I'm happy, I'm successful. If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing something wrong and I need to get myself back to that. So now my entire focus is trying to get myself in only in that zone.
I think that's so important though, like what you're talking about, like in terms of time management. I mean, you should really, so I'm trying to remember, like when we took like the LSAT and all that, were they telling us to focus on like the things we're really good at, or were they saying like focus on the stuff that you're weak at? I don't remember. Because I know like they hear a lot of the times I'm hearing now, like focus on everything that you're good at and like just forget about the stuff that you're not so good at.
They will tell you to work on the stuff that you're weak at, which is not necessarily how the real world works.
Right.
The real world, the better, more refined version is, you know, do the things that you're good at that you also enjoy doing. It'll be sustainable for you, and that's the only way you'll bring the most value to the world, because you know you'll want to do it and you'll be good at it. Ideally, in an ideal world, we want everybody to be in that zone.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you have students? Like, how many students do you have right now? And like, how are they doing in your program?
So I was able to kind of create my own structure. If I had to have all this knowledge about, you know, very practical knowledge of how to run a virtual, automated, and scalable online law firm, I was able to kind of package that all together and put into a 6-module course where I very systematically teach you exactly, again, 2 components: how to get clients, and 2, which is, you know, my favorite topic, is be able to how to automate the entire thing, from bringing in the clients to serving the clients to be able to finish off the clients and rinse and repeat over and over. The program is called Legal Funnel Mastery. And now I could share, it's my first time ever sharing this. I'm actually have a bigger vision where I'm going to be building out a platform for who'll be able to help lawyers run their law firm like the best version that they possibly could. So that's the bigger vision that I'm currently building out. I'm in the works right now with that. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But basically that's my mission, to help as many lawyers as I can, make sure that they're working their desired happy zone and do it positively with good energy.
And get assistants to do everything you don't want to do. If you get something you don't want to do, send it to the assistant. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, that's good. All right. And then the assistants will be doing different tasks. Okay.
Yep.
So, I was kind of curious, like, have you seen any programs out there like this?
There are a couple that kind of focus on the getting clients aspect part. However, I realized these programs, theory is very different from practicality. So, you know, yes, there's all this information about how to go get clients. But I think what's different from mine is at first I go apply it for myself in a very practical level. And then I go and share exactly what's working exceptionally well for me. So it's not based on theory at all. And it's not based on anything that had done in the past. By the way, things change so fast that, you know, something happened 3-6 months ago. Like, you need to prove to me that it's working this month or else I don't believe you. So, you know, these are all things that I'm currently doing right now. Again, I'm a practical practitioner of running multiple law firms, and I'm able to pass everything that I'm learning this week and pass it on to you. And I'm able to, you know, save many, many years for so many of our students, all this trouble of hiring people and using all these tools. I'm able to just say, hey, this is the best thing for it. Go for it, because I've done it myself here. So you can do it too.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, you're getting people business through a funnel. You're teaching them how to handle all the business coming in by basically delegating and hiring virtual assistants. That's a pretty amazing model, I would say. So congrats. And you're using, but I think like the background of it is like, you're using a lot of like, are you using like a lot of Google ads and that sort of thing? Like people landing on like so I think that's sort of like the trick to it, like that's
where it starts the funnel. But there's a whole system on the back end. That's the source. Google ads and Facebook ads and YouTube ads and all this other stuff. But you also need to be able to convert those people, those leads into clients, which is half of the challenge. Okay, great. You have 30 clients signed up. How are you going to serve them? I hope you're not going to be the one doing the work. So that's the second aspect of it.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. I guess I'm curious, like what kind of law? Like I know I asked this earlier, but are they doing, you said transactional, all types.
All types.
Criminal lawyers coming in. You got trust estates lawyers. and it's virtual, so the jurisdiction, like people are coming through the jurisdiction because they're searching it in their area, right?
Correct. It's again, I'm teaching framework setting, so you just have to be able to apply for yourself. And I'm also very conscious of exactly, I know what practice types that people are in, so when I know very specific things about certain niches that I also address. Hey, for personal injury, make sure you do this and not this. For estate planning, you better do this.
Right.
I point all that out, and which again took me many years to figure all these things out. And also being able to run this program, I talk to so many lawyers, so many students, so many things, what's working, what's not, that. And I'm able to put that in my head and know exactly with clarity. At this point, I know everything by cost per lead and cost per acquisitions for every niche. And I know what's working, what's not, because I get so much of that feedback that I'm able to pass that off to our students. I'm all about giving and be able to help other people. I never see a success like me being successful like that. Like actually a couple of times I had to go to Vegas, and basically I went on these trips essentially by myself, and I realized like I'm not happy. Doesn't matter how amazing this beautiful suite is, I'm not happy if I do enjoy by myself. So that's it shows me like pure happiness is when you share with others.
I like that a lot. I think that's huge actually, Sam. I think you should lead with that sometimes. Pure happiness is when you share with others. No, because I think like that's what you do. You're teaching people how to find their happiness through their profession and kind of like get through the stuff that they don't really want to do. I think that's like super important. Tell us about those gold records in the background.
So these are ClickFunnels. They're called TwoCommaClub awards. They're awarded to anybody who generates $1 million with funnels. I was able to receive one in 2019, 2020, 2021, and actually just earned my fourth one after applying for it. Basically, these are three of them are law firms, 3 law firms that I've been able to go from zero, from scratch to $1 million in revenue on average within a year and a half or so for each law firm. And now I'm able to again pass that on to our students. And now after, once I receive mine, which I already have, I'm good. Now my focus is getting our students their own plaques. Once you have this, again, it's a proven system. Like if I had one, even if you have one, it's actually proven, because at that point you have to serve, hundreds and thousands of clients for you to be able to, receive one, but let alone 3 or 4. There's method to the madness. It didn't happen by chance.
Where do you see this in like 5 to 10 years?
Hopefully being the masterclass of the legal market, teaching and empowering other lawyers to grow their own automated virtual law firm. And I do think it's the best business model for a law firm. Virtual, you have to serve clients from your laptop and from wherever, not tied to a 9-to-5 schedule. It's automated, so it's running on its own. And third, it's scalable, which means that it's able to grow more without necessarily you doing more. So that's like a perfect place where you want to be, a perfect business model for a law firm. So that's trying to now pass it on to other people.
Well, Lawyer Stories would love to help you in any way we can. So I'm glad, we got a chance to chat and hang out tonight. Is there anything like we missed that you'd like to share with everybody?
Yeah, I just want to give people confidence. A lot of people are so lost these days because they're so inundated with so much information that's out there. Obviously free information, but YouTube, Facebook groups, I'm sure everybody goes on their Facebook, the lawyer posting in a lawyer Facebook group, hey, what do you guys think about this one? And then, there's a lot of comments, and then they get distracted. They go try that out. Then they go try that out. You want to cut that noise instead and go follow 1 or 2 people that you really look up to and get hyper-focused. Hyper-focus is key when it comes to being successful in 2021 and beyond. I'm working on this myself. I have a lot of things going on too. So I'm trying to get myself hyper-focused. But at the same time, I try to do that to our students. So cut the noise, don't get distracted, avoid shiny object syndrome, avoid new things. A lot of people, just because something new comes out, you got to let it simmer for a couple of months to see whether it actually pans out to anything. So as my mentor taught me, is like park your ideas, park your things that you want to try out. So every time I see a new tool that's like so cool, I don't buy it right away. I have a rule of thumb. I just put it into my Todoist and I save it and I check on it maybe in a week or two, like, do I still really want it?
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. If you see a shiny pamphlet, let it be, right?
Let it be, or park it. That's the best way to kind of think of it. Just park it.
Park it. Yeah, I like that. How could everybody get in touch with you? I know it's you're out there, so tell us.
You just have to search legal funnel anywhere on Google, Facebook, anywhere. Okay. Or search my name, Sam Mollaei, and I try to get as much value out to the market as much as I possibly can. Feel free to reach out to talk to one of our legal fund advisors. They'll tell you more about the program. Again, this is life changing, and I think of it as the first couple of steps that opens up this whole world of where you'll be heading for many, many years after that.
Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video, because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week, providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it, go watch it.